1 year ago, Yaba was finally sliding her bottom to the river that was the landscape of her rebuild during 3.5 years. The day we had worked for, hoped for, and imagined over and over again turned out even better than we could have dreamed. Our family was there, and to our surprise, they brought a crowd of friends to celebrate and cheer as Yaba finally splashed. A day filled with many emotions, from fear to excitement to relief, and mostly an overwhelming joy. Looking back, it's still surreal. We never saw ourselves as the kind of people who would take on such a challenge. But we also never imagined owning a boat as incredible as Yaba has become. She is more beautiful than we ever envisioned, and life aboard her brings us way more happiness than we thought possible. We now get to live the life we always dreamed of. Even better than that, we get to share this life with our loved ones. Yaba is always full of life, family, friends, and laughter is probably the noise she hears the most. Considering how this journey started, we couldn't have wished for a better outcome. From the moment Yaba arrived at the yard, launching her back to the sea was our ultimate goal. And from the moment we launched her back to the sea, untying the lines and traveling up the Brazilian coast has been our ultimate goal. And sometimes, or most times, achieving a goal takes longer than we planned. We always thought that after splashing Yaba, we wouldn't straight away start traveling because we knew the boat wasn't ready when we launched it. So we had an idea of spending 6 months or something like that in the area, finishing the boat, and those 6 months became 12 months.
And it's not a bad thing. We did a lot of testing, a lot of braking, a lot of improvements, and also where we are right now is Florianopolis, and this island is epic. It's easy to spend another year here, but don't worry, we won't. You might be wondering, what have these two guys been up to? They finally launched their boat and they're still not traveling the world.
And they're doing nothing.
And we're doing nothing at all. Wrong. We are doing something every single day to improve the boat.
For you to have an idea, when we launched Yaba, we didn't have a working toilet.
We didn't have sails.
We didn't have the
We didn't have a davit system.
Well, the davit system wasn't even an initial plan. So
we didn't have connected diesel tanks.
We needed this time to finish building things that are extremely necessary. Toilet, shower, with a boiler so we can have warm showers. Also for sailing, we did some changes in the rigging. We installed the sails, all that. And not just the things that we knew already that we had to do, but some things that once we were living on board, we noticed that we needed to add or improve. For example, the davit system, so we could easily lift our dinghy, which to start with wasn't easy at all.
So what have we been up to? Number one, like priority number 1 million is enjoy the boat. How was that?
Fun.
We have been enjoying the boat. We have been going to new anchorages, anchoring where we felt like it, where we felt comfortable. Of course, we both started off with some sailing experience, but anchoring a boat, feeling secure, sleeping at an anchorage has something we've never done without being dependent on someone else. We've been doing all these things. We've been through 40 knots of wind at night. We've been to 0 knots of wind at night.
Yeah.
So we've been really enjoying this period without rushing anything, learning how the boat sails, learning how we live on boats.
So this year was really important for us to learn the boat ways, and living on board is our first time living on a boat full time and also together sharing a boat. So we had a lot to learn. You
learn
guys
how much we can tolerate
had
each other.
no idea. Our first anchoring, how crazy that went. And then a patron saved our relationship by gifting us a walkie-talkie, and now anchoring is very smooth. But not just anchoring, many other things that before were hard, now we can do them with confidence. So we really are people that are readier now to start traveling and going far away than we were a year ago. And not just that, our family was really involved with the build, and then as soon as the boat is ready to be enjoyed, we leave and they don't enjoy it with us. That wouldn't be fair, right? So it was really nice that we spent this time here with my family, Ben's family visiting, enjoying the boat, our friends coming here. My family from Argentina, I had many members flying to enjoy, because now that we are in the south of Brazil, we're still closer to Argentina, so they could come and spend some days with us. So that was really, really important for us before we actually leave.
Yeah, so you guys know this is where MP was born. It is an island called Florianopolis, and me being from Europe, coming here, it's like a Hawaii. What you guys think of Hawaii that hasn't been discovered by tourists yet. So you've got the nature, you've got the trails, you've got surfing beaches, you've got interior calm beaches, you've got lots of seafood, you've got small houses, fishermen's villages, good food, everything. So we are going to leave this place in how many days? Maybe 10 to 15 days is what I think, which is why we're wrapping this up for you guys. Just as we said, this is like Hawaii. We've got some, what are they called?
We call them Hawaiian canoes.
In Brazil, they're called Hawaiian canoes going past
I'll film
as we
so
speak.
you can see them.
And the dogs love them.
Speaking of the adventures and experiences we had during this year, going on the Cape Horn of Florianopolis was when we broke our mast. So really, there were things that had to be put to test before we dared to do any crazy adventures. But now we are ready-ish. Why are we not leaving tomorrow?
It's very easy to say. We have 2 things on our list before we're leaving. 2. We promise. Like, we're going to do this, leave.
I thought it was 3.
Okay, what's the first one then?
We built the David system so we could lift our dinghy, and that was amazing. But then after having it, we started noticing that it needed some improvements, and now we are about to reach the final evolution of the David, which is changing our solar panels from this roof, this deck that we are sitting on,
right under the boom, which is not ideal because we're going to have to be flaking our sail soon, which is standing here.
Now that it changed from furling to hoisting, we are thinking that this deck will be more used than we thought before. So these panels will go to the David, and we're also going to add more supports for antennas and anything like that. So that's going to be the final form of our David with the welder that's from this island. So that's why we're not leaving yet. But
and he is working on it as we speak. So
Yeah.
the moment it's finished, we just need to meet up with him, and he's welding it, the whole structure, in his shop. And he's just going to bring it over and weld it into place. 2.
I'm going to say the thing that was the third thing, because I think that's not what you're thinking of, which is installing our AIS before traveling. Is going to be really important and ideal to have it. As we have it with us, thanks to Alan, we just need to install it.
The third and final thing, which I'm most excited for, you're most excited for, and you're most excited for, is the main sail, the 4th and final sail, which has been something that we haven't had for the longest time, which is going to improve our sailing dramatically in a good way. We snapped our mast a little bit, about 40-50 centimeters, going around the island. Instead of shortening or making the sail smaller, we decided to remove the furling system, or the big drum that was underneath, which means we now have to hoist and drop our sail, which is also, I think, for us, going to improve our sailing.
But the reason we changed is not because we didn't want to shorten the sail, is that we thought that furling the main sail wasn't comfortable or even safe. So we really think that hoisting will be much better.
That was the only furling system on the boat that made opening and closing a sail harder than it had to be. So that is the third and final thing.
And the sail is now with the sail maker doing these adjustments, because changing from furling to hoisting, we had to do some
What are they called? The
holes
hanks,
and
piston
hooks.
hanks and stuff. So we're going to have it clipped onto the stay which runs parallel to the mast, which also, just like with the welder, is a work in progress as we speak. And this is why we wanted to just tell you guys face to face what are the now 3 things that have to be done.
So after checking these 3 things,
So
off we go.
solar panels brought to the David system, AIS antenna plus receiver transceiver, and the sail. And then off we go.
And then off we go. Since launching Yaba, traveling up the Brazilian coast has been our goal. We feel now ready to pursue that goal, but what does that mean, going up the Brazilian coast?
Our goal is to show Brazil to the world. So first we need to think, what's the total length of
It's my turn.
What's the total length of the Brazilian coast? So from the southern tip to the northern tip, following the coast is, 4,500 nautical miles, if I'm not mistaken, or something like 7,500 kilometers. Are we going to do all of it? That's not in our plan, because from Florianopolis south, we haven't planned it, and we are planning to go up to Fernando de Noronha.
The northeast.
Guys, if
of
you
Brazil.
don't know what Fernando de Noronha is, write it in
That
Google.
is the Brazilian
That's
Hawaii.
the pinnacle of Brazilian travel, in my opinion.
The
It's
most
ocean travel.
beautiful beach of the world. Like, in that island, it won the prize many times.
So Google Fernando de Noronha and tell us in the comments what you think, and if you agree with us using that as our first long-term destination, because we will be going up the coast, stopping in many cool places.
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly. We are not going in a straight line, skipping the whole Brazilian coast just to Fernando de Noronha. Our idea is to explore Brazil, for us to see it. I'm Brazilian, and there are many things of Brazil that I haven't seen, so I'm very excited to do that. Also to show you places that you most likely wouldn't see, and different cultures, different music, different flavors, hidden places. Like, it's gonna be a very exciting adventure going up the Brazilian coast.
Different waters, different islands, different type of sailing. Like now we are anchoring in, let's say, 10 to 20 meters. When we head up the coast, it's going to be anchorages of 30, 40, 50 meters deep. So it's going to change a lot. The sea life is going to change. The fishing is going to change. And with that, I mean, I'm going to start actually catching fish. What's the most north you've been in Brazil?
Bahia.
Bahia. Diving.
Yeah.
I want to go there. My most north was Rio de Janeiro, but it was literally a plane flight from here to Rio for a couple of days and back. But what I have only seen in images and videos is a place called, what's the islands called?
Abrolhos.
The small islands by Rio.
Angra dos Reis.
Angra dos Reis. I've seen it in YouTube videos, I've seen it on pictures, and that for me, before that Fernando de Noronha place, is something that I am really looking forward to. And I'm going to tell you something that I didn't tell MP yet. I want to be there. So for the Northern Hemisphere, your summer.
Okay, like July?
Yeah.
So we're gonna be in Rio by July. That's a cool goal. We are very excited to explore Brazil because we know it is an amazing place. And then later in the future, when we are readier, when the boat is readier, and when we've seen all this beauty, then we have the ambition of crossing oceans, going abroad, and seeing different places.
Different continent. We are going to be going up the coast in a one-of-a-kind boat that no one really knows how to sail yet. So that's something we're going to be figuring out. But we want this to be epic for you guys, as well as it's going to be epic for us.
As you can probably tell, we are very excited for what's ahead. We hope you are too, so we really hope that you will join us on this journey, hop on board, and discover Brazil with us. I really hope that this update now is answering the questions that we are getting the most of. Why you're still in Florianopolis? Is Yaba ever leaving that area?
Why isn't there an episode this Sunday?
Guys, please don't be upset that we haven't been posting every Sunday. There's really a lot happening behind the scenes for this moment to arrive and us to be ready to start traveling. We are aiming to at least every other Sunday, but hopefully soon we can go back to every Sunday.
Yeah, because literally we have been waiting, sitting on the edges of our chairs, waiting for this sail to arrive, to finally make that epic episode of finally having 4 sails, and we are on the edge of our chair waiting for the davit system to be finished with the panels. So soon those will be out, and then we'll be traveling to a new place every single time with new content of a completely other area every single episode, which we cannot wait for. So sit back, grab your popcorn, because from now on we are gonna set sail into the horizon to a new place and discover the world.
After doing those 3 checks.
After those 3 little checks. So don't forget to subscribe. Click that subscribe button. It's completely free and it'll tell you when a new video is posted, so you can stay up to date with our future adventures into the unknown.
And one last thing before we go. Thank you so much for being here, for watching our journey, for being interested in what we have to show. It really means the world that some of you are with us from the very beginning and continue to be here. Seriously, thank you for making this possible. You guys rock.
And we won't let you down. See you guys soon.